was a young boy, I'd make a Christmas wish. Every single year I'd wish for peace. But in 1993 I made another wish, but Santa didn't bring it. Despite all the other years I'd wish for peace. Stretch Armstrong is all I ever wanted, all I ever asked for that year. Stretch Armstrong, oh, my mother must have hated me. It was too much of a stretch to buy me one. What were you made of? Well, I guess I'll never know. A kid at school said he'd opened you and that you were just green good. I would have stretched you from here to eternity. Stretched you from my living room to my conservatory.
Superhero Stretch Armstrong. Yes, Stretch Armstrong. Now stretching fun farther than ever before. He bends, he stretches, even ties and knots, but always returns to his original shape.
How does he do that?
He's been doing that since he was a kid. Stretch Armstrong from Cap Toys. Well,
Stretch Armstrong. Oh, what I would have given 30 years of hurt, but mother, you're forgiven. Stretch Armstrong, this is a goodbye. I missed the boat, but I suppose I could have choked and died. I missed the boat, but I suppose I could have choked and died.
Christmas #1 there by BigMattSkills.com, the brand. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah?
What year do you think Stretch Armstrong first dropped?
Interesting question. So, here's the thing with Stretch.
Yeah.
You were just singing a beautiful song there.
Thank you.
Really beautiful voice. You sent me that before, and I just thought, God, his voice is like silk.
Oh, my God, stop it.
Honestly.
All like Bailey's.
Good point. And just to say, this is a... Oh, by the way, surprise.
Surprise, we're back, motherfuckers.
Secret Christmas episode. Just when you thought we weren't coming back, we are. Yeah, that kind of thing.
It's funny you saying it because you're in an elf hat as well. And
oh, yeah, well, and what are you wearing on your head at this?
Well, I saw the Santa hat and the elf hat, and I presumed, as it's just me and you, Ryan.
Well,
we'll get to
that. Yeah.
That I would probably go with the Santa hat and you with the elf hat. I felt that was a...
Well,
did you have a thought?
Yeah, I did. I suppose it's instinctive, but just then when the song was playing, you know, opening the show with that beautiful song of yours, we'll get back to Stretch Armstrong in a minute,
sure.
You know. But you went, oh, shit, Ryan, the hats.
Yeah.
Because we've got the hats out for the Christmas special, for this audio format, sure, but it gets us in the mood. And we'd forgot to put them on. Yeah. So I dashed to the other side of the room while the song was playing, missed half the fucking song.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Came back and I handed you, out of a sort of instinct, I suppose, the Santa hat. And I handed myself, and popped it on my own head, the little elf hat. I mean, I don't know what that says about me and my confidence. That's something to get into, maybe with my therapist. In 6-7 years' time, when I decide to get one.
Yeah, when it's bottled up enough. And you were saying there about how silky smooth my singing was.
Yes, back to Stretch Armstrong.
No,
right?
but it was, and I said it's a lot like the Baileys. I mean, like we always say on this podcast, we're very translucent.
Oh, so honest.
Sorry, transparent.
Yes, well, yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
So we should let you know that we're drinking some Baileys.
Yes, and it's a Christmas miracle. We just went to the shop because we fancied some Baileys to have with the podcast.
Yes.
And they tried to charge me £30.
Yep.
Went to Sainsbury's. Same bottle of Baileys, £13.
Think of the difference there.
And the charming man behind the counter must have knew I was a comedy guy.
Yeah.
Because he said, £26, please.
Yes. You had your elf hat on, didn't you?
And I was very confused. But because I could see it said £13 on the little payment thing.
Yeah.
So I thought, and then I clocked. I looked up and saw his eyes and how delightfully glinting they were.
So he was giving you a bit of a Christmas jeer, would you say? Would that be a Christmas gotcha?
It was certainly a
Pranked you. How'd you going?
Yeah, he was a prankster. He was a wind-up merchant.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I looked in his eyes and there was this glint and this big beaming smile which told me, oh, he's pranking me.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind at all because it's the Christmas season.
It's so festive right now. And in Sainsbury's.
And in Sainsbury's particularly.
Kilburn.
Do shop at Sainsbury's this Christmas.
And I should say now, like we say, it's just, it's me, mattskillington.com, the brand, and it's good old-fashioned Ryan Howes here.
Hi.
Today. John, unfortunately, couldn't settle on a date to record on. Busy time of year. He really wanted to do it. It's a real shame he couldn't. However, I'd recorded this kind of this song here, and I was like,
I've got some stuff I've prepped for it, and it was like, oh, we're prepping for the wheel every year, prepping all these features. It seems like a shame to not do one.
Just do it.
So we've just wheedled our way in and said, well, I think we're just going to record one because we owe it to the fans, and hopefully it's not too sad that John's not here today. There's no issues.
Yeah.
So your little Christmas gremlins on Reddit forums saying,
Rumour mill.
there's trouble in paradise with the Seldom Differ boys.
Yeah.
Nothing of the sort, thank you.
No.
So less of that, please, because I know, to be fair, John's the kind of person who would be on Reddit saying those things.
Yeah.
But,
true.
you know.
And of course...
Maybe he deserves that. But,
and sometimes with the past couple of years, we've managed to get Rebecca Lucy Taylor, aka Self-Esteem, on
goddamn, we tried.
Christmas special, and we tried, and
she's very busy.
She's which is fair enough because she's killing it at the theatre.
Kit Kat Club.
That was it. I was going to say Twix Club, but I'm thinking
Twix Academy.
Yeah, Twix Academy. That's what I'm getting confused with. She's doing very well as always.
In Cabaret, of course. So
yes,
go and see her in that if you can. In a way, it's nice because I'm actually going to. I've got tickets to see her on the 20th.
Oh, who did you kill to get them tickets, Ryan?
Well, I had to mug a few people.
Yeah, where did you steal them from?
For the money to buy them.
Do you know the film Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, go on.
Replace the Turbo Doll with a Cabaret ticket.
I don't think they're that rare. I got one quite easily. I just had to pay loads of money for it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, yeah.
But hopefully it'll be worth it. I'm sure it will.
No, they're not cheap, for good reason.
Yeah, but point being, I'm going to go and see Rebecca in Cabaret on the 20th, so it'd be maybe nice to get her on after that so I can talk to her about that show and
it's true.
tell her what I thought of it and everything and give her my honest opinion.
God, it doesn't seem like 2 minutes ago since like the start of this year I was talking to Becky and going, oh no, we want to get you back on for a catch-up. You know, you've done lots more. Let's get you back on. That's not a Christmas special. And that year's just gone. Yeah, I mean... without a toodle.
We say it every year, I think. And I think every year goes fast is the thing.
Yeah, it's true.
It does feel like they're getting faster.
But it's Christmas.
But it's Christmas time. And listen, let's get back to your point.
Yes,
it's only a 10-minute diversion. It's better than usual.
No, I think sometimes we've got to get the... not the small print.
It's the admin.
The admin, that's the word I'm looking for.
It's the seasonal small print.
Yeah, but like you said, there's been a lot of vicious rumours about us in the forums. Cracks are starting to show. Seldom Differ boys, terrible breakup coming, Robbie Williams,
John's been chatting to Robbie to get ideas kind of thing.
Yeah, of how to lead a successful...
John's been reading Ginger Spice's autobiography for notes on
exactly all that stuff.
How to do to do it.
The truth is, no problems here. Grand ideas for a Christmas special, and yes, it's me and Ryan in a closet, it seems like, recording, but so what? We've done some stuff and we're going to do it now. Ryan, Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, let's get back to that. You said what year, right?
What year did it launch?
So here's the thing that's interesting, I think. I think the Stretch Armstrong you were singing about in that beautiful song was the classic 90s version of Stretch Armstrong.
You've got me there.
The big-chinned, no fingered, I suppose you'd say. Like he just had sort of stumps for fingers and feet. Huge white teeth, yellow slick hair. And you might think, oh, that's the first one, blah, 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 it came out in the 90s. Since that one... I've looked into modern Stretch Armstrongs and they've changed the design and they've gone with this like sort of 70s-esque design, and I'm quite sad that 90s one that I know and love doesn't really exist anymore, But what they've done is, because everything's just remakes, going back to the early versions, blah blah blah. I kind of get it. Like with logos and things, sometimes it's quite nice these days that people are going, like, I think in the 90s with logos, they just suddenly had Photoshop. They suddenly had all these graphic design tools. So every logo had like embossing, 3D, drop shadows, angles. They just threw everything at them. And that was cool because it had not been seen before.
Yeah.
And previously it had all been very simple.
Mad angles.
Now I think there's this change where people are going back to that like basic design.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done with Stretch. And I don't know, maybe the modern... And what I mean is, as far as I understand it, the modern Stretch Armstrong that's out in the shops today is actually based on what I think is a 70s design.
Yeah.
Maybe even 60s. Which is kind of cool, I get it. But I still... I think it's just 'cause it's my childhood.
Yeah, it's your generation.
I love that original Stretch. So I'm going to hazard a guess at 1968.
It's a good guess, Ryan. It is a good guess. I thought you were going to slam me a little closer, to be honest, there, and closer to the right answer.
Oh.
It was 1976. Oh. So you were right, it was the 70s.
I nearly said 72, but yeah.
You're going back to the 70s. Now, I've just got some facts I want to talk to you about Stretch Armstrong. We'll just try and skim through some stuff. There's some interesting stuff, because like you say... Wait, hold on. There was a huge 90s renaissance of Stretch.
Yeah.
But it started in 1976.
Yeah, what?
76, 86. Was that 20? 86. 20 years later,
right.
we're seeing it again.
And did it just dip out of fashion? Well, maybe you've got information, but was it just out of fashion in the 80s completely? Or
well, this is the thing. So Stretch Armstrong was originally released in 1976 by Kenner Products. In 1987, Kenner was acquired by Tonka, which was later acquired together in 1991 by Hasbro. It's important to know. I'd say Hasbro, they're the real the bosses in this company. In this field of
in
work.
The toy world, yeah.
World, Hasbro.
Hasbro are what the Heineken of the toy world. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Can we say
owning lots of stuff?
Yeah.
I can only think of Monopoly, but I know they do a lot more.
Yeah, no, no shit.
Loads of stuff in it. It's for a different podcast, I suppose. Now, the Stretch Armstrong toy concept was created by Jesse D. Harowitz, the industrial designer for Kenner's R&D group. And that's research and development for people that don't, for the soft fans. The idea was approved for development by the head of R&D, Jeep Kuhn, vice president of Kenner. The Stretch Man, as it was originally billed as. The Stretch Man idea, as it was called, was pursued with two different bodies in mind. One was a sumo wrestler.
Oh.
And the other was an all-American blonde hunk, which is more the kind of the Stretch that we know and love.
Yeah, okay.
Horowitz sculptured the models himself instead of hiring a freelancer. The sumo man was too bulky and large, so the all-American body was cast by Kenner's model maker Richard Dubeck, and the resultant resin model was taken to a latex doll manufacturer in New Jersey, where the first bodies were dipped.
I thought you were going to say that when you stumbled. I thought you were going to say, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and the rest, as they say. Now, originally, springs were thought as a way to stretch the man.
What's that?
Springs.
Springs, oh,
so like bang springs in there.
Sort of similar in a way to, what's his name? Inspector Gadget.
I suppose, yeah, exactly.
He had springs for arms and legs, didn't he?
And in the same theory of, and again, big in kind of the 80s, I'd say, the piece of exercise equipment that was all springs, and then you'd stretch it like this.
Yeah.
So you could probably see an idea and go, I mean, that's going to be a different Armstrong in it, like the feel of it, all the...
or maybe, would it... Yeah, I suppose it would be more like that, wouldn't it, where there's a bit of, like, give... versus such as like the Slinky dog that's in Toy Story, for example.
Yeah, a bit of resistance, and I suppose it had just come back too quickly.
Yeah.
You needed a slow release, I think.
So this guy was just, I want to make a stretchy man. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Stretch man is the big goal.
But we need to make a man that stretches somehow. Yeah.
It was a simpler time, right?
Well,
it really was. However, they were thought to be too awkward and stiff. Not the only one. Too difficult to insert, and would likely pierce the skin. My ears burning. Kuhn, that's Kuhn, is the guy's name.
Kuhn, maybe? I don't know.
Kuhn. a chemical engineer pursued a liquid sugar idea, which eventually proved successful. Tremendous quantities of Caro corn syrup were purchased from an A&P supermarket. The syrup was boiled down to get the proper viscosity. Kuhn and Horowitz flew to Kenner's headquarters. I mean, imagine if this was your life. Like, we gotta fly to the headquarters now. We got this new goo. Stretchy goo, stretch man come to life.
Thick sugar goo.
We got it from the supermarket.
We think it's just the right viscosity.
And also, it's in Cincinnati.
To put inside a man to make him stretch. In Cincinnati,
We
New
tried
Jersey.
springs. It pierced the skin. It was awkward and horrible in the hand. But then some motherfucker bought me syrup.
Mr. Toniano came down.
And where are the headquarters? Of course, they're in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati,
We gotta
Idaho.
go to the headquarters,
Jersey.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh.
Ohio, Cincinnati. And they presented the concept to Bernie Loomis, who you can imagine him with a big fat cigar, can't you? Just sat on a load of toys going, "What's the next fucking toy I hear about the stretch man?"
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
He loved it.
Loomis loves it. Loomis loves it.
Loomis loves it, guys.
Guys, Bernie Loomis loves it.
He loved it. And a toy icon was born. The original Stretch Armstrong figure was conceived and developed by Bill Aramasmith and was in production from 1976 until 1980.
Right. So no, okay.
Now, Dennis Fisher manufactured and released the figure in Europe under license from Kenner. The original 1970 toy commands high prices on the secondary collector's market, as you know, Ryan. Selling for hundreds, perhaps thousands of US dollars. So we're talking original,
Yeah.
from 76 to 1980, if you can get your hands on one of them motherfuckers. Through storage and play, the figure could become damaged and rendered useless, because obviously the kids are absolutely battering it. There are still original Stretch Armstrongs that have survived the passing of time and are remarkably preserved through sheer luck of being stored at...
Room temperature.
Correct. Which is the correct temperature. It's the temperature the figures need, basically, to be at the perfect... what would be the...
Stretchability.
Yeah, what would you call the... Not fluidity, the...
What, viscosity, maybe?
Viscosity, yeah, maybe that's it.
Or maybe... I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It does come down to marketing, and we'll get into that. But when they say it like this, Stretch Armstrong is made of latex rubber filled with gelled corn syrup, which allows it to retain shape for a short time before shrinking to its original shape. So it's like...
It's an amazing bit of... It feels like the kind of thing... Obviously, they were trying to plan it, but it sounds like something that NASA discovered by mistake.
Yeah.
One of these things.
I mean,
but
it's like Flubber, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like that. Like
Flubber.
he's trying to go, we're trying to get a thing. But it is very simple, and then it just comes down to, well, how do you put this stretchy substance into something? Well, just a man. Just a stretch man.
Yeah.
But I think with this, is the idea of stretch man came before.
Yeah. And it's like,
the gel.
I need a man to stretch. Make it. I'm the ideas man. You make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's sent his minions to figure out how to do it.
That's
and they're going, well, maybe springs, or maybe I don't know. Oh, it's piercing kids' bodies.
What would you use, Ryan? Do you think off the top of your head? It's hard to say after the fact, isn't it? But you thinking like big bits of chuddy or something. Chuddy, by the way, for people that don't know, is a northern term for chewing gum.
Yeah, I think the initial thought would be some kind of elastic, I suppose. Some kind of elasticated man that's stretchable.
That would make sense. Rubber bands in there.
Some kind of almost like whatever the materials that tights are made of, as an outer skin.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. And like...
Yeah.
And then stuffed with like... Yeah.
So you get a pair of tights, stuff it with rubber bands.
I'll stuff it with like... Just like... stuffing? I don't know. Well, this is R&D, isn't it?
Oh, you're saying that the stretchy bits come from the tight themselves, not
the innards.
Not the innards.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's pure tights.
Yeah, but inside you would have something, but that's just malleable, like a sort of what you'd have inside a cushion or
Old
something.
tea bags or something.
Well, yeah, if you like. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm thinking of something more life-size, in fairness, here.
You are? Will you make a life-size stretch man?
Well, I could do with my tights idea, maybe.
That'd be cool.
But it reminds me a bit of when I was a kid, you could get these wrestling dolls. We may have talked about this before. I think we definitely have, in fact.
my left leg.
Yeah, and it was like on the advert, it looks. You think it's going to be life size. It turns out it's Hulk Hogan, and it's like the size of a shoe.
Yeah,
you know, a big shoe, but still a shoe. And yeah, you could, you'd twist its left arm and it'd say, "You're twisting my left arm,"
as lots of wrestlers did say.
Yeah. The classic.
Get off me, man! You're hurting my right ankle.
Yeah, but that felt like a similar thing. It wasn't quite stretchy, but it was that similar kind of tighty material. However, it's all bollocks because we know what the right way is, and it's what Stretch Armstrong's.
It's corn syrup.
The trouble is, then you go, I think the innard is perfect. The trouble is the perishable outer.
With the latex.
The latex rubber is the actual issue. That doesn't.
They need vulcanized, don't they?
Yeah, and that's what's perishing over the years. And that's what, maybe we'll go into this, or you're planning to go into this anyway, but like you say, this toy, that's like, it's basically made to be destroyed, or like, it's like...
Yeah,
it's like saying to the kids, try and destroy this.
Yeah.
You won't be able to.
Now, do you think, I don't think I'm going to mention it here, but you sent me a photo of Stretch Armstrong in the box, and it comes, doesn't it, with a 4-foot tape measure, essentially.
Yeah.
It's basically, do not stretch it any further than this.
Yeah, that was surprising. When I was looking at, like the 90s one, it had like, it was basically going, look, all the stuff's here from the original. And yeah, it makes that in the advert, like you can just stretch and stretch and stretch.
Yeah.
But as a sort of, I guess it's small print.
Must be, innit?
They go, yeah, but don't stretch it beyond 4 foot because it will break.
Yeah, and then it's like, because they had to have a limit of going, well, you said you could just stretch it forever.
Otherwise, you've got like people tying it to trucks and driving apart.
Yeah, 2 different trucks.
And it's just splitting in 2, and
And you go, I want my money back, and they go, well, oh shit. And I bet that came after, probably.
Maybe, yeah.
It might have been one.
Well, this was in the 90s version. Maybe in the 70s one, they didn't have that note.
Yeah, because not every cunt and the mother is trying to sue people
back then,
in the 70s, but in the 90s.
Yeah.
What's that quote I said?
Every cunt and the mother. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Sorry for the loss. It's the Baileys. I got a bit too comfortable chatting. I forgot we were live on air. But there was a film. I think I mentioned. I think I had played the clip maybe on the podcast where it's like Hulk Hogan's in there and he backs into someone's car or something, and then he's like, "Oh, we're gonna fight," and the guy's like, "Huh, man, this is the 90s. I'm going to sue your ass." I think there was like a big insurgence.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I don't think that's the right word,
but a big, I know what you mean, increase in suings.
Yeah, in the 90s. So I bet Stretch got it big time. Now, what problem do you get, Ryan, when you bring out a successful toy?
What problem do you get?
What issues do you get as a company, or as what follows when a company brings out a successful toy?
Interesting. Because you think, well, it's all pure joy. Like, I mean, you could say there's going to be a shortage of product, but like that's a good thing for the company. So would it be things like, I mean, you mentioned in the song, I could have choked and died if you had been given a stretch.
Yeah.
Like, is it that kind of thing? Like people, like kids getting injured in some way by the toy, or
no? I mean,
because I also thought that was funny in the song, because what you're choking on, it's such a massive toy. Yeah. I mean, you're trying to eat the whole thing.
They must a foot.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Or like you say, one of them stubby hands.
And actually, the 90s one, the head was like, I believe the head was like plastic, so maybe the head could have.
Yeah, I mean, we had a special, didn't we, on toys that killed.
Or I suppose, what you could do is, when you're experimenting as a kid with your new toy, how far you can stretch it, you could be holding it in your teeth, and then trying to, if you're playing alone, you've got 2 hands in your teeth, you've got 2 legs in your hands, and you're trying to pull it away from yourself. And then you bite the end of the hands off, and they go in your throat, you choke.
Yeah, I mean,
is it that kind of thing?
No, I mean, the truth is that's the only bit of thing I can grasp onto to like let that memory go of Stretch Armstrong.
As in, like,
I suppose I could have choked and died.
Right.
Trying to find reasons to not still be upset that
I see.
don't have a Stretch Armstrong.
Truth is, you probably wouldn't have choked. You just had a really nice time.
Really fun time.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not particularly a bad thing, but you get similar releases, don't you? You get other companies trying to compete.
Oh, I see. Copycats.
And I've got a list here, and just funny. An estimated 67 different versions from Japan, Germany, Italy, France, and Australia and other countries released Stretch Armstrong variations between 1976 and the 90s. And I just like some of these names and some of these products. So they had Stretch X-Ray in 1977. He had an oversized exposed brain and an alien-looking face with a transparent form that showed his internal organs This actually sounds cool.
Yeah.
Its internal organs, which were lungs, an intestinal system, and what appears to be a heart.
Oh, wow.
This version was re-released, and you can't really blame it. That sounds cool.
So that's
cool
like
as fuck.
the latex out is clear, and within the corn syrup, they put these little bits that are like organs that get pulled along with it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sounds better than the actual thing. Harbert Sport Mr. Musculo, 1977, Italian version of Stretch Armstrong.
Okay.
Who was called Harbert Sport Mr. Muscolio. There was Lily Ledy El Hombre Elastico, which was a Mexican version of Stretch Armstrong. Stretch Monster, a reptilian green nemesis released by Kenner in 1978. So that was actually, if that was released by Kenner...
Official.
Oh no, because it was bought by Hasbro.
Right, so they were going, well, we'll do a new...
Shit.
Right, wow, that's cheeky.
Bringing out Stretch Monster. And then Harbert Sport Mr. Mostro, which was the Italian version of Stretch Monster.
Right.
And then Stretch Ollie and Stretch Olivia, male and female octopuses, coloured blue and pink, respectively. I mean, this was before 2020, I think. Which had the same face shape, but the only difference was their colour. The Dennis Fisher UK toy company issued Ollie and Olivia in smaller boxes than their American counterparts, saving on shelf space. And they're always competing, aren't they? Always trying to get them. And these figures are rare to come by now, so if you're listening and you see one of these, then do let us know.
That sounds cool, because if you've got a big family or you've got lots of friends, because you can 8 legs to pull there, which is pretty cool.
That's a sweet way of looking at it. Yeah. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
All have a piece. Or if you've got 8 kids,
well, yeah,
just get one toy.
One toy, like a piece.
And you're done. They'll just fly. And then Dennis Fisher again made Stretch Incredible Hulk in 1979. This figure used the original Stretch Armstrong molds and graphics without permission.
Oh.
And was discontinued due to a lawsuit from Kenner in 1990. Again, 1980.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Still, though, the early days of the suing your ass.
So
ass was getting sued.
But I wonder if that was Marvel then. Yeah. I wonder if that was Marvel that's just gone, yeah, we're going to use the original molds.
Yeah, fuck them.
No permission.
So I wonder what they've done there in terms of the molds. Have they used the mold, or have they like cast a mold based on they bought a toy from the store and they've cast their own mold based on that? That could be how they did it.
Oh god, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I bet they're worth a few bob then if you found one of them. Discontinued, that's where all the money's at.
Yeah.
And just some quick ones to go here. We had Mega Elastic Donald Duck, 1980. Mega Elastic Mickey Mouse, 1980. Mega Elastic Batman. Mega Elastic. So it's kind of like we have Marvel or Doctor Who or DC hooking up with Lego and them doing all that shit.
Georgia Asda for pajamas.
Yes,
kind of thing. Yeah.
Or Fortnite when they get like Marvel involved.
Yeah.
Everyone was just doing it like this is the top toy.
And I guess this is like I guess they couldn't patent the corn syrup and latex
Maybe that's
technology, and these are all just using that same recipe. Because can you patent? So it's like boiled down sugar water at the end of the day.
Yeah, corn syrup.
Yeah. So I guess that's like such a existing thing that you know what I mean.
Yeah, you'd probably only be able to license the molds.
Yeah,
is the thing.
It's not like they've invented a substance like flubber. In a way, they're just using the existing substance, but in a new way. So yeah,
I'm surprised it's not more like Elastic Armstrong, or more like rather than finding other things that are stretchy, going to the original Stretch Armstrong man and trying to do alternatives of that.
Well, maybe Armstrong is patented.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
be fair, that's because stretch doesn't feel like a word that you can patent.
No.
But maybe Armstrong is.
So that's why you've got like stretch everything.
Yeah, stretch monster.
It was a stretch era. Kenner Stretch Serpent, Cap Toys Fetch Armstrong.
Fetch Armstrong. Was that a dog?
That was Stretch Armstrong's pliable canine counterpart.
So that's an official, you see.
Released in the early 90s. So that's an official one, I think. Fetch Armstrong.
That rings a bell, actually.
Toy Quest had Super Morph Man. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like Stretch Armstrong, no, like the Aldi version, Super Morph Man.
Yeah.
Or like Poundland, I used to get toys that were like, empowered Rangers or
or like there's movies we used to watch, like the cheap movies, like instead of RoboCop it was Cyborg Cop.
Yes, exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot like the Asylum film guys do.
Yeah.
Snakes on a train and
yeah. Right.
Super Impulse Gumby and Pokey Stretch. The last two were filled with granular solid.
More like a sand-based substance.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
feel
seen
like
these
I've
kind
felt
of.
that.
I've felt that in a shop before.
Yeah.
And gone, oh, quite nice in a way.
Yeah, granular solid in place of viscous liquid. So I think we said viscous, didn't we? Did we? Viscosity,
But that was in the document that you're reading from.
Yeah, in place of the viscous liquid found in other figures, a vacuum pump which attached to the heads of these figures removed the air from within, which froze the toy in its stretched position.
Right. Interesting.
Okay, so it's like the opposite of it coming back. It would just stick there.
And I imagine in that case, if that one got pierced, it's fucked.
You're fucked. Yeah, because of the air.
The air just gets into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I mean, if any of them get pierced, you're fucked. To be fair, we'll come to that.
Yeah. Well, this is more our era. Stretch Armstrong was reissued in the 1990s by Cap Toys with the canine sidekick, Fetch Armstrong. The reissue, Stretch Armstrong, had more comical, exaggerated face, a huge, genial smile, and had on a vanity t-shirt and shorts. This new reissue figure was introduced in 1993.
Well, those accessories, the vest and shorts, on eBay, even they were going for like 50 quid.
Oh, so you could take them on and off.
Yeah, that's the
Dress
point.
them up.
Yeah. So you could be stretching Stretch Armstrong in the fucking nud.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They should have attached a penis, really, shouldn't they?
There was one.
What, stretch penis?
Yeah. You could stretch that if you had extra friends.
You're lying, aren't you?
Of course I'm lying.
Yeah, bloody got me there. He's doing a Christmas...
I was chatting to the guy at Sainsbury's. He was giving me some hot tips on how to prank.
No, very important. Nearly done now on the Stretch Armstrong stuff, but I think we do like a deep dive on this.
Speak for yourself.
On this show. Okay, thank you. In 1994, so it was released 1993 and 1994. That's when we got the re-release from Cap Toys.
That's the one we love.
That's one we know and love. That's one I wanted. In the Christmas #1 song you just heard at the beginning of this show, when you hear the advert coming on the guitar solo, that's 93. That was then. That was their re-release. So 93 and 94 version exists with slightly different artwork. He also had an evil brother named Evil X-Ray Wretch Armstrong.
Wretch is a good name.
Who has a skull face, sports, a mohawk, and also stretches. Well, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
You'd fucking hope so, wouldn't you? Wretch Armstrong seemed to be...
And he doesn't stretch, but he vomits.
He vomits.
You can just
sugar.
stretch the vomit out of his mouth.
Yeah. Wretch Armstrong seems to be a redesigned, smaller remake of Stretch X-Ray, but in reality looks nothing like the 1970s version. Evil X-Ray Wretch Armstrong is only 7 inches tall, whereas Stretch X-Ray was over 12 inches tall.
That sounds massive.
What, 12 inches?
But was the X-ray one the one we talked about that was pretty cool, that had the organs inside and stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I think that was... Oh, no, maybe you're right, actually, sorry. Stretch X-Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Stretch X-Ray was the guy that had...
And that was
the coolest.
Yeah,
Oh.
12 inches tall as well. That's huge.
And that's before you're stretching him.
That's like 6 of my dicks.
So, or one of mine. It's a foot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I always think of it as like it's Subway sandwich size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, before you're stretching it.
Yeah.
So you're a grower and a shower, I'd say.
Yeah. I bet that one can go beyond 4 inches. Oh, sorry, 4 feet.
Thank you. Right, I'll put it away. Ryan.
Yeah.
Get this. You won't believe this. I mean, you probably will because it's the 90s.
Yeah, but go on.
It's 94.
Okay.
What are the bigwigs thinking off of the back of the success of Stretch Armstrong? Big cigar in his hand. We've got the toy.
Something else that stretches?
No.
Interesting.
Another.
Stretch Armstrong TV show?
Closer.
Cartoon?
Even bigger.
Movie? You're joking.
Cancelled.
Okay.
Get your head around this, right? What a time to be alive. We're lucky we were around in there. In 1994, Walt Disney Studios.
The big dogs.
So you got to remember, and for the people, you know...
The big dogs, I just said. The big dogs.
The big dogs. You know, I know we have a lot of our audience under the age of 20, I know that, and they're probably thinking, what is Stretch Armstrong at this point? But let me tell you, in that era that I remember, 93, 94, Stretch was huge.
Yeah. And, well,
Was
obviously
huge.
it was because you stretched him.
Thank you.
No, but But he's back, in fairness, but in a different form.
He's back, but what I'm saying is you can see, like...
He's not as big as he was.
We're talking Walt Disney approaching this sugar-filled latex bag.
The mouse guys.
The mouse guys. 94, Walt Disney Studios obtained the film rights to the character. Right? The film rights. I want the fucking right to the movie. Several scripts were written, including an early version, family comedy, written by Greg Erb, a co-writer at Disney. The script, which cast who in the role of Stretch Armstrong?
I was just thinking this. Who could it be?
As a kind, I'll give you a bit more of a clue here. I mean, it's still hard. As a kind of single dad who is a research scientist and is stretched too thin, trying to balance his work and family life before he inadvertently, accidentally takes one of his experimental serums, which gives him stretchy powers. Who are you casting in 94?
Yeah, got to think of the era.
Yep.
Got to think of... Is it a star booking, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the obvious one might be Arnie, but I feel like he doesn't have the all-American accent. But he could...
Looks the part,
they could have still cast Arnie, because why not, in the 90s?
Yeah. Got the smile.
I think the 90s era Stretch actually looked a bit like John Travolta, with blonde hair.
Yes.
However, I think this was in John Travolta's dip before he came back with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have been him, but I think he might have been all right.
That would have been a great choice. It wasn't him, but that's...
Who's like a blonde... Let's say...
He was doing well TV-wise at the time. Probably had a couple of movies under his belt at this point.
Maybe like Jim Carrey, to be fair.
Jim Carrey would have been a good choice.
He's already got a rubber face, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he would have been... He was the part. It was actually Tim Allen.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Tim Allen, it's got the voice, I feel like, but I don't know if he's got the look, but I guess they do that with the magic of cinema, wouldn't they?
Yeah, true, and get that blonde hair on him, I suppose he's got something going. Anyway, but listen, it's a cancelled film, so...
Right.
Yeah, they cast Tim Allen the role for Stretch Armstrong as a kind of single dad, is it? And he gives himself stretchy powers. A later version from screenwriter Michael Kolesniko was created, and it was set in San Francisco. It was about a somewhat socially awkward nobody beset with troubles trying to venture out his failing personal life and is genetically modified with stretching abilities after a failed nuclear fusion experiment and must use his newfound abilities to solve the tragedy that has befallen his family. Among the actors who were considered for the role was Danny DeVito.
Oh, wow.
Who refused to do the film if the script made any jokes about his height.
Okay. Well, it's cheap humour, that, isn't it? So I understand it from someone as classy as Danny.
Yeah, it's true. Provided rewrites, and Peter Kerr was attached to direct, but due to lack of time on the rights, both ideas from Disney were scrapped, and the rights were bought up by Greedy Guts.
Oh, what? Harvey Weinstein?
Hasbro.
Oh, right, Hasbro, right.
Yeah. They brought them again. Now, Ryan, before I leave the subject of Stretch Armstrong, if you had Stretch Armstrong abilities,
yeah,
would you use it, like in everyday life? What do you think it would be good for?
It's got to just be a party trick, isn't it? Because you need other people to stretch you. It's not like I can just stretch. So I'm going to need like a couple of guys.
That's a good point.
You know,
you're not like Stretch.
It's not like the guy from the
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like it's like that.
No.
Like I could be tied in knots by a friend or a bad guy even.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I guess, and like it's like oh, you could stretch him across. You know, there's a car chase and you need to stop the car, so you stretch your body across the road. But there's nothing to say like you're not going to get killed in that situation just because you're stretchy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So you'd be like As You Look Now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I'd be
As
like
standard.
I mean, there's a guy we've talked about him on the podcast. His name is Gary Stretch.
Yeah.
In fact, two Gary Stretches, which is confusing. One's an actor who was in Dead Man's Shoes.
Yeah.
But there's another one who's a circus performer, and he has very stretchy skin.
Yeah.
And he's in the Circus of Horrors. And we've said this before, but I saw him. It came on at the start of the show, stretch his skin about a bit, shows how stretchy it is, goes off. You don't see him for the rest of the show. He comes on for the grand finale, covered in pegs.
Of course.
Because his face is so stretchy, it can attach many, many pegs. Hundreds to his body. But that's a novelty act. That's a freak show.
Yeah.
I think I'd keep the powers to myself, or like maybe get them out at parties, as I say, like, hey, hold my hand and stretch as far as you can. Watch this.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, if I say I wanted to get down off a mountainside or something, if I held onto your arm and my weight, would possibly come down like a what do you call it when you like rock climbing?
Yeah, just like a sort of pulley system, or
yeah,
that's true. So I could
do things like that, maybe.
So I would hold on, because presumably Stretch Armstrong is also strong, or is that just not really the case? He's just stretchy.
He looks
strong,
in good shape.
He looks in good nick, doesn't he?
Like a guy on Venice Beach or something, you know. Like.
Yeah. So probably he's got all right grip. So I could grip onto the mountain, is that what you're saying, onto a root of a tree or something, and then you climb down me, grab onto my leg, and using your weight, my body stretches under your weight, and then you get yourself to the bottom, you release me, I return to my normal shape up at the top of the hill, attached to the. But that's then you can get help. Of
you
course.
Could be at the bottom though, as in you could come down. If I stretched all your legs down, your legs would be then touching the floor, and then if you released your hands, you would slowly return back.
That's okay. Yeah, that would be the way to do it, wouldn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I could do that, I suppose. Yeah. What would you do?
I think, like you say, more party tricks. Yeah, there's not a. It's not like a really good superpower, is it? It's not a good.
As Dad says, he bends. Yeah. Okay, so do I. He stretches.
Yeah.
Fine, but okay.
He gets tied in knots.
Well, that's a bad thing.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I have enough trouble like untying my earphones.
Exactly. Yeah. Need my arms and legs and fucking neck.
And the rest.
And the rest. So yeah, but the toy itself. To go back to that.
Yeah.
Now I got to admit this, Matt.
Do it.
Maybe I'm a little posh boy. Maybe I'll get the bell ready.
Oh, get the bell out.
Because in 1993, when I asked for a Stretch Armstrong...
Oh. I didn't think this was going to cause conflict. You might have to top my drink up if you're going to tell me this.
I got a Stretch Armstrong.
I say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ask for one?
Presumably. Yeah. I guess you don't remember those ones when you just get them. It's the ones... Like, I remember the year I didn't get the Mega Drive that I wanted. I remember that. Because that hits you emotionally and that sticks with you. When you get the present you want, you know, doesn't really...
10 to the dozen.
Doesn't really stay with you at all.
Do you remember playing with it at all?
I remember playing with it for a bit, and then it went in the drawer with the other junk. We called it the junk drawer, and then...
You would, wouldn't you?
We found it perished.
Oh, really? What, in the drawer?
In the drawer.
Was it temperature-wise?
I'm not sure what caused it. Maybe there was something in there that pierced it, like a badge or something.
So some springs.
there would have been things like slinkies in there.
Yeah.
So definitely could have been something like that. But just to say, like, I mean, it makes sense from what you've just described, this glucose, because in the song you describe it as green goo that the kid at school said. I mean, he was lying, obviously.
Yeah.
But just to say, it wasn't green goo. It was a very clear material.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was edible, because I maybe would have put it in my tea or something, you know.
So it leaked then?
It leaked, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I don't think it was that long after getting it. I think it was quite quick to perish, to be honest.
Shit.
Yeah, but, you know.
Suppose it got scrapped then?
Yeah, it would have been... I mean, that could also have been a few years. I do remember, like, stretching it, you know, me and my brother, other friends came round, yeah. I also don't remember having that limit, but I remember it's like, you know, you just try to stretch it as far as you can. You know, it's got this 4 foot limit, but anyway. Yeah.
It must be more than 4 foot, though. If it's 12 inches anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose 4 foot is some distance, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then does that mean from head to toe?
No, I think it's from tip of the fingers to tip of the feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. But it was good. It was a good toy. Like,
yeah.
I do remember playing with it, and like, it might not have perished too quick. That might have been years later. My memory's fuzzy around it. But, you know, I think it was a fun toy to have, and it felt good in the hand, and it was unique. That's the thing about it. It was very unique.
Yeah.
Even though there's all these knockoffs, I think it was still quite a unique toy.
It was the one, wasn't it? And it was first of its kind, and a very excitable gift, I imagine. I mean, for him, it's just torture, and he just gets stretched. I think in his world, he's solving crime, and but the reality is, kids just tearing him to bits, and he's there going,
Yeah.
You're like, if it's Toy Story, if...
It's like, yeah, you can stretch him, but it's quite painful. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, all is forgiven.
Yeah.
I've forgiven my mother. And I had to do a quick deep dive just to let that go out my mind and go, just move on, Matt. It's not worth it.
Well, Matt, listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in my special little cupboard here.
Okay.
See what I've got in here.
All right.
I've got you a Christmas gift here.
Oh, you've actually got me a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Well, shall I open it now?
I think you should open it now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just giving Matt his Christmas present here. We'll see what he wants. See if it's
Is it
something he likes. I don't know.
a little bit of a...
What is it?
Holy shit! It's the original Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
And it's the full-size one.
£4,200 on eBay for the original.
Oh my god, that's got a real weight to it as well.
It's a big old box, isn't it? That would be like... when it was wrapped up, it was large, wasn't it? That'd be exciting under the tree, wouldn't it?
Oh, that's like Turbo Doll size.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, not at all.
Thank you.
Well, you sent me the
so
tune and I
much.
felt so bad. So now, do you love me more than your mum?
I suppose that's how it works, isn't it?
Seems that way, yeah.
Man, that's a real weight to it.
Yeah. Is there anything on there about how far it's allowed to be stretched? This is the modern... This is, to be clear, this is the modern
Yes.
reissue of the original.
So it's the reissue, the original Stretch Armstrong. So it is official Stretch Armstrong.
It's
merch.
official Stretch, and this is like the one that you can get these days, which is basically a replica of the 1976 one, I guess.
Yes.
Rather
yes,
than
it
the
is.
90s,
That's right.
Rather than the 90s cheesy guy.
That's right. Stretch him, and he will always come back to his original shape. Super stretchy fun. I don't think grab and stretch his arms and legs, let go, and he'll return to his normal shape.
Yeah, we know all this.
Super strong, super stretchy. That's a genuine surprise on the podcast there. That was lovely stuff.
Well, it's funny as well because obviously last
Lovely
night
wrapping paper.
at the pub we were discussing the music video that we want to make for the song that we heard at the start.
Yeah.
And I knew all along I'd got a Stretch Armstrong that we could use in that music video. But I
Right.
wanted to keep it a surprise. So we sat in the pub and planned a whole video that works around not having one. We've got this shot list that's we can probably update now and actually use the Stretch Armstrong in the video.
Yeah, I should hope so.
So I felt like my lying was pretty on point yesterday with that. I felt like
No, that's genuinely a
I
surprise.
thought you might be suspicious. So when I went to the cupboard, you didn't think it was going to be that. It was like a real.
When you said then, well, I go to my cupboard.
Yeah, it must.
I thought you were joking.
Right.
Then you were going to stop.
I see.
And then you got the box out, and I was like, okay, has he actually got me a Stretch Armstrong? But up until that point of you passing it over.
Nice.
What a lovely end to this deep dive of Stretch Armstrong. That's
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I'm dumbfounded, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But I guess we can move on to the next section as it's an hour in.
Yes. Shit.
But it's a lovely because maybe we'll have a little wee top of our Baileys.
Yes.
And we'll maybe get to my Christmas number one
Yes.
after this short interval.
So Ryan's gone for a wee. I've just pulled it out of the box, and it does stretch, to be fair. But I mean, it's a bit disappointing. If anything, it's not as sometimes your dreams are a lot more exciting than the real thing.
How far you got it? Wow, that is stretchy.
Oh, actually, I'll check the see if it gives a warning.
Feeling this Baileys.
Yeah, it's about
Quite strong, isn't it? Shall we top up the very strong drink?
Yeah, go on then. Is the bottle? Oh,
So it's just there behind you.
first thing it says is wow, it's Stretch Armstrong, with all the letters slightly stretched apart.
Oh, cool.
But your stretch figure will break if you pull him too far. It's like me.
That's like number two.
That's the first thing.
Right.
Excessive stretching could result in damage to the toy. But the whole thing is, surely it is excessive stretching.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You're asking for trouble with this toy.
Forget the cold or heat. The cold or heat, it says. Stretch doesn't like extreme cold or hot conditions. Keep him at room temperature and he'll be alright. Outside is okay if the temperature is about 22 degrees Celsius.
if it's room temperature outside.
When your figure is cold, he's more difficult to stretch. As you hold him and stretch him carefully, he warms up and will be easier to stretch. Alternatively, you can put him in a bowl of warm water to soften him up. Do not pull your figure too far. Stretching him too far can break your toy. Do not overstretch. It says it can't make it how many more. Can't make it any more clear. Please don't stretch him. Don't stretch him too much.
Stretch him a bit, but then please stop.
Do not wrap or tie your figure around any person's head, arm or leg. Take care not to tie knots too tightly or knot individual limbs.
Yeah. He bends, he stretches, he even ties in knots, but not too tightly.
Yeah, don't tie. To stretch him, hold only his hands and feet. Do not pull from the shoulders or upper arms. Do not puncture or bite. Keep him away from sharp objects and pets. Do not pull his head. If it comes off, warm the head in warm tap water for 5 minutes and then carefully pop it back onto the neck. Do not twist his legs or waist. Keep him away from intense heat. Do not leave your stretched figure out in the sun. Warning, avoid rubbing or scratching painted decoration to keep your toy in good condition for longer.
God, what can you do with it?
Up to 90 centimetres, 35 inches.
Like, just basically, like, please don't remove from box.
Yeah. If your figure breaks and leaks onto clothing, upholstery or carpeting, the non-toxic food-grade glucose solution filling can be removed by rubbing the area with a sponge and warm water. Please note, your stretch figure may not appear full due to settling during shipping. This is normal. Simply pull it back into shape with a few stretches.
But not too many.
So it's basically, the main warning is don't stretch him too much.
Yeah.
Because, you might break him. But
still, it's a cool little thing, isn't it? And,
it's beautiful, mate.
And so that's been the Stretch Armstrong special.
It's warmed my hearts.
Put him
in the middle.
Put him in the middle of us, yeah. It might get too hot there. No, I don't know.
We'll see.
He's a very delicate little
very delicate
flower, isn't he?
Yeah. It's more of like an illness than ability.
I think so. Yeah. It can only be at room temperature. You know.
Yeah. So I got terrible condition. Also, just his hands and feet. He can't stretch. Don't twist his hip.
Weird. Okay. I mean, we must move on, but I hope you guys have enjoyed that Stretch Armstrong interlude for an hour. But yeah, so speaking of Christmas number one, so that song was lovely, and I think that could be a Christmas number one.
Thanks, man.
We obviously tried for Christmas number one a few years ago, didn't we? With that terrible Christmas song, which was good and everything.
That's a good tune.
You know, it's all right, but
it's a good tune.
I thought, there was always that issue of these guys, Lad Baby,
yes,
who were like 5 years in a row. I don't know if you know who these people are.
Yeah, just give a brief explanation.
It feels like back in the day, everyone knew everyone. It was like Christmas number one, the charts. It was kind of everyone knows everything, but everything's so spread out now that for the last 5 years, the Christmas number one has been this artist called Lad Baby.
Is that right? For the last 5 years?
That's correct. For the last 5 years, an artist called Lad Baby. And it's like, I don't know if I've even really heard all the songs. I've heard a few of them in bits, but what they do is, it's very clever, is they take a tune such as I love rock and roll, but they replace rock and roll with sausage roll,
right?
Which is kind of fun once,
Yeah.
It's like a funny idea,
yeah.
But then they've done that same gag 5 times,
just with different songs.
Just with different songs. We built the city on sausage rolls.
Oh, but they've still used sausage rolls.
It's always sausage rolls.
Oh, okay, right.
And there's enough songs that use the phrase rock and roll that they can just bang in sausage roll.
Okay.
But the thing is, I mean, their singles have been for charity.
Okay, that's nice, I suppose. Well, I mean, it is nice.
Yeah, but I guess it's like, maybe I'm a cynic, but I just feel like it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a lot of publicity. I mean, look, we are guilty of trying to get ourselves, worm our way into the charts 3 years ago with our single by saying it was for Shelter.
Yeah.
We had a board meeting.
Yeah.
And we said, how the fuck are we going to sell this goddamn thing?
Yeah.
I know. Let's say it's for charity.
Stick a charity behind you.
I mean, we'll give the money to charity.
Oh, yeah,
we want the publicity. We want to be in the paper saying, these are good guys doing good things for charity.
Giving to the homeless.
I feel like this is where John would stop me.
Yeah.
But he's not here today, so
I'm going to keep on going.
So we, and that's what I'm saying. I want to be honest, like transparent. Like,
yeah.
I think we were quite cynical with that, and we were like, well, we'll give the money to charity, all good and well, but part of that, you got to be honest, was to like try and shift a few more units.
Yeah.
In the end, I don't know where we came, but we certainly weren't in the top 100.
No,
but we made some money. We made like a few £100 for shelter. You know, it's all nice, nice stuff. But point being, this Lad Baby character who was dominating the charts, they've released a statement this year saying we are stepping down. We're giving someone else a chance.
Oh, that's so good of them.
At Crimbo number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really nice of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've run out of songs with the word rock and roll in.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you see that as a challenge?
And I thought, well, I'm going to have another shot at it then. This is before I even realised you were having a shot at it yourself with your Stretch Armstrong song.
Yeah.
So I've actually written my own...
Always got to try this time of year, right?
...kind of attempt at Christmas number 1 to try and rival these guys' Lad Baby. And I guess this song I'm about to play...
Yeah. Is exactly that.
Kind of about that. And I've called it Christmas Angle.
Christmas Angle.
Yeah.
Is that like a play on Christmas Angel almost as well?
That's the idea.
Nice.
Well, ho, 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 and a he, he, he. Christmas is here and I wanna make some money, baby. Make some easy money, baby. Write a Christmas song like Lad Baby. Oh, it's gonna be a breeze. It's a Christmas song and for the royalties. Could even say that it's for charity. I make my money from the publicity like Lad Baby.
But what's my angle on this going to be, though? Something about snowmen?
What's my angle? When I take to the mic, my Christmas angle. What will the idiots like? Well, Chris, we drove home, and Cliff had wine and mistletoe. Frank Sinatra said, let it snow. And there's that really festive argument from the Pogues. God rest his soul. But what's my angle? I'm just trying to find my angle on Christmas. Oh, it's gonna be a breeze, a fresh new take on a Christmas theme. Stupid twats in Christmas hats will tap their feet to my relatable lyrics and my catchy beat.
Something about snow. I can't. Snowmen. Snow.
What's my angle? When I take to the mic, my Christmas angle. What will the idiots like? Lad Baby had one joke, replacing words and songs with sausage roll. He did it for 5 years in a row. A joke like that can never get old. But what's my angle? I'm just trying to find my angle on Christmas. Okay, something about food, but not sausage rolls so we don't get sued. What's my angle? When I take to the mic, my Christmas angle. What will the morons like? Flapjack the snowman was a very greasy man. With a greasy hat and a greasy...
I've got to say, right, I mean, look, great single. I think you got a chance at number 1.
Maybe,
obviously.
yeah, but with my Flapjack the Snowman tune.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you finally found your angle, and then we stop hearing it.
Well, yeah,
I think what I want to hear is Flapjack the Snowman now.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe next Christmas you'll hear the full song.
Yeah,
but that's in the running. So look. It's on Spotify right now. It's Flapjack the Snowman.
Yeah.
And what I've done is I've taken the word frosty and I've replaced it with the word flapjack.
Yes.
Because that seems to be what's winning the race for Christmas number 1. That kind of greasy food stuff.
Yeah.
In place of another word.
Also, like the idea of a snowman made of flapjack.
Well, yeah.
Like it would be quite the image.
That's true, yeah.
And you say, he's a very greasy man. Because particularly... I'm sure we said it before, Handsworth Grange School.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Flapjack's not known for being greasy. And maybe
they were the greasiest.
And perhaps sausage rolls aren't known for being greasy, but, like, I think of them as greasy objects because of our school canteen.
The Flapjacks, it was quite... I still think about them, and we still talk about them regularly. Yeah. But the that's not normal, I don't think.
No, same with the sausage rolls, though. They were wet. It's like they've been dipped in hot water. Oh. And I never had flapjacks, really. I wasn't that into them, but I was a sausage roll king.
They were really nice.
Yeah.
But the bags would be dripping.
Yeah.
Like, of grease, what they've cooked it in. Like, you use butter and stuff.
Yeah, the
to make
paper
it, like...
bags became translucent.
Yeah.
You could see the innards. You could see what you were getting. I mean, that's a good thing.
It was like that in The Simpsons where they rub the packaging or something on the wall and the bird flies into the wall because it's so greasy,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like that.
It was
bang on that,
It was so greasy. But, so I know in your head you're thinking like Handsworth Grange, Flapjack,
that's
Snowman.
Right, yeah.
That would be like, what a sight, what an image.
What a grease ball. Yeah.
What a grease ball.
But this is the thing, though, isn't it? That I think, as I mentioned to you, like, last 5 years you were surprised to hear that Christmas number one had been this lad baby guy. But back in the day, wasn't it just like everyone knew what was happening? I'm talking about the 90s right now. The era of Stretch Armstrong and its resurgence.
Yeah.
It was big. It was a big deal, wasn't it? What was Christmas number one?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. I think I tried looking it up. Like, what is the Christmas number one even out? But it certainly feels.
Sorry, that's the blobby alarm just gone off there.
Oh, you're joking. You're joking.
Well, only because
what's happened?
He was in the race for Christmas number one back in '93. The year that you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But sorry, finish your point first.
No, I just feel like this, like lad baby of changing rock and roll sausage roll.
Yeah.
It's just shit.
Well, it's like,
remember what happened to the days where you had like real,
proper novelty
Wizards
records.
and
actually,
them lot.
I mean, them lot, Wizard and stuff. I think they were decent Christmas songs.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think actually the '90s was potentially. That's what I'm going to go into it now. Was potentially like the beginning of the end in a way.
Okay.
But it was also like, but at the same time, it was a golden age for the novelty record.
Yeah.
Where you'd get a really strong, and it was different every year. This is the thing. It wasn't just like what's happened in the last 5 years where you've had the same person because they've got the biggest Instagram following or whatever dominating the charts, so no one else gets a look in. And not only that, it's a real I was quite scathing in the song there, I must admit, and I don't like to necessarily slag off other artists who are just doing their artistic work.
Yeah.
But I had to find my angle for the Christmas song.
Well, exactly.
And that's what I went for in the end. I thought I'm just going to dig in here on these absolute
and they'll be
chances.
Right. Yeah,
they'll be fine with it. But like, it's not even like it's a good novelty song. It's like they've just done this. The first one, I could give them that. Like, I could imagine us doing something like that. Do a song, change some words, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think we would do that. I think it'd be more classy than that. There'd be more to it. But
yeah, but I see your point.
Being one-off, bit of fun. They were just chancing their arm. We're just an internet-based operation. We're not on the telly.
Yeah.
Let's make a Christmas single, see what happens. And then it's quite funny that their Christmas song about sausage rolls gets number one. I can appreciate that. Yeah. But it's when then they go, right, we'll do that again and again and again and again. And 5 years later, you're still delivering sausage roll at the top of the Christmas charts. It's just boring.
Yeah.
Whereas in the 90s, it was the era of novelty records, but there was variation. And now I've prepared for you, Matt, a little Christmas quiz.
Okay.
But don't be too afraid, because I think it's a pretty... Here I am already. I'm already panicking. I'm at the beginnings of my hosting of this. It's not a feature, but it's like a mini feature.
Hearing more terrified.
It's going to be fine, Matt. You're going to have a good time. It's not too difficult.
Is this connected to the blobby?
Yes, the blobby alarm went off, of course.
Yeah.
Because basically, it's got to be mentioned, because I think blobby was the beginnings of all this.
The downfall.
Maybe you could call it the downfall, but certainly when the Christmas number one went silly.
Yeah.
But did Blobby in fact get to Christmas number one? Or was he in fact number two?
I couldn't tell you.
Well,
is that the question?
You're going to have to, because we've got a little quiz on our hands. I'm a fantastic host.
Come on then.
So the idea behind the little quiz is, I'm going to give you the Christmas number one and Christmas number two.
Oh.
But they're simply in alphabetical order.
Okay.
So as in, like, I'm giving you them in alphabetical order, and then you need to tell me which one actually was number one and which one ended up being number two.
Okay.
So it's a 50-50 chance, really.
Right, okay, yeah.
I'm going to play a little clip from each one.
All right.
To remind you of those days back when you were dreaming of your Stretch Armstrong.
93, 94.
And yeah, it's a quiz to play along at home. I think it's a lot of fun. There's a hell of a lot of novelty records throughout the 90s, as you'll hear.
Right.
But, yeah, let's play, I guess. God.
What a hell of a segue.
Yeah. So here we go. Was Blobby in fact number one? In 1993, It was certainly number 1 or number 2, I'll tell you that much.
Really?
So let's hear.
Christmas number 1, number 2.
Christmas we're talking in 1993.
Shovel my shit.
Was it Blobby with, I think it was called Mr. Blobby?
Of course.
That should have sounded like this.
Okay. Okay. So I remember this track.
Yeah.
I thought that might have been they just re-released the Blobby song but put like Christmas bells behind it or something. But that's the actual.
That's the actual tune, though.
Yeah, I remember that. Huge.
Did you hear the lyrics though as well? Your influence will spread across the land. Blobby and Mr. Blobby. I can't remember what it was said now, but basically that line was in there. Like, he's the original influencer. Your influence will spread across the land. Yeah. So that was potentially number 1.
Some
potentially number 2.
Illuminati shit going on there.
In the same year, in the race, was Take That.
Oof.
With their song, Babe.
Oh.
I don't remember this song, but see if you do.
I'm here again. I tell you I'm here again. Where have you been?
And the interesting thing with this song was, you've got Robbie Williams in the band. Fantastic artist, beautiful voice. You've got Gary Barlow, what a dream.
Yeah.
And they give the lead vocal, I love the guy, but in the race for Christmas number 1, against the powerhouse of Blobby, to Mark Owen.
Who?
Well,
I thought you were going to say Jason Orange there for some reason.
no, but the other Take That member, who is, he's got his charm.
But Mark Owen is probably
4-minute warning was great, and I like the guy.
4 minutes to go, is that the end of
Message on my stereo.
4 minute warning.
It's a good tune.
Listen, I'm Mark Owen. I'm going to be singing vocals on this, and I can't wait.
Yeah, this is Babe.
Babe, you're just a big girl to me.
I mean, it wasn't
Everything
like...
that I need.
I mean, I wonder if it had a connection to the movie Babe, if it was like about the pig.
I never heard that song
Yeah,
before.
me neither, which might give you a big clue. But,
Well, I was going to... I remember... I'm sure Mr. Blobby got a number 1 with Mr. Blobby. I remember the records coming out, spilling over the place.
Yeah.
Sure, it could be number 2, but I'm sure it was like, fucking hell, Mr. Blobby's at number 1.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying Blobby's 1.
Well, you
that's
bang on.
2.
You bang on. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course it was
Yeah,
Blobby. Of course it was Blobby. Like I say, you started the whole thing.
Yes.
Now we'll move on now to 1995. A couple of years later.
It was a very good year.
And it was either Michael Jackson with Earth Song. Let's hear how that used to sound.
I must have talked about it on the pod before, but Christmas '95, the Earth Song, my brother Joe got it on cassette, and he was on his knees replicating. It's one of the funniest things I remember Joe doing. It's one of the funniest things I remember Joe doing as a kid, and he was because if you remember the music video, he's like on his knees and he's dragging his hands
like the wind blowing
through
against
the dirt.
Yeah.
But Joe was doing it with a pile of roses wrappers, like quality.
It was intended to be funny.
Yeah. He was on his knees like that. He had that song on. He was like, "What about everything?" And he's like dragging his hands through all these confectionery wrappers.
Almost like it's almost like he's angry at himself for eating all this chocolate.
Yeah. So that was a fantastic Christmas, and I remember that being big tune.
Well,
at the time,
and again, maybe it's a clue, maybe it's not.
Big tune.
Because either number 1 or number 2 was this tune that year. This is the Mike Flowers Pops with Wonderwall. Do you remember this?
That be the word on the street that the
cover of the Oasis track.
Heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it before, but you've never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody
So this is 95 as well, yeah.
feels the way I do about you.
So again, you could say that's a bit of a novelty record, cover of Wonderwall in a novelty style.
Massively novelty there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Christmas is all about the novelty.
The fact that got to at least number 2.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I'm going to be shocked here, but I've got to go with Earth Song. Right?
Yeah.
It's such a big thing at that Christmas.
Yeah.
I've got to say Earth Song number 1.
Strong memory for you with Joe and his Roses thing. Well, I got to tell you got 2 for 2. It was Earth Song.
Okay,
but it is incredible, isn't it? The Mike Flowers Pops with
number
that
2.
I mean, I like that tune, to be fair.
Yeah, it's great, but What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, this was the era of the novelty single.
Yeah.
Because in 1997, one of these two songs became number one. Number one in the charts.
Right. Bear that in mind.
1997.
Big 9-7.
It was either Teletubbies with the tune
Fuck.
Teletubbies Say Eh-Oh, which sounded like this.
Come on.
Teletubbies.
Say hello.
Eh-oh.
Was that not?
Can't speak, can they?
So was-
Say hello. Eh-oh.
I know, that's why.
Sorry,
it's a different podcast, but it does annoy me. Like, let's teach kids how to say, well, actually, they're just learning vowels and it's a good thing. Fuck off. Was that the outro to Teletubbies at all? Or intro? It wasn't. It was because I remember that song, but I attach it with the show like it was.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think perhaps they'd extended the theme tune to the actual show. Maybe.
And boosted it up.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I might just remember that. From,
It starts with this where it's like, time for Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Time for Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Tinky Winky.
That was huge.
That was huge. Teletubbies were huge news, man.
The TTs were just phenomenally huge, so they've got a massive chance
Got a
of
shot
getting
at it.
number one.
Yeah.
And deserved at least a number two, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, it definitely was one of the two.
I know.
You know, you got to consider Blobby got up there. But who else was big in the 90s, man? Who was one of the biggest
97.
bands? Who was one of the biggest bands in 97?
Oasis.
Yeah, but more popular.
Spice Girls.
You're quite right.
Oh,
They were in the running as well
shit.
with this
Ooh.
tune, Too Much.
Too much of something is bad enough, but something's coming over me to make me
This is the
want.
hardest one yet. This is the hardest one yet.
Both big names in 97. Do you know what I mean? They were both massive at that time.
Yeah, of course,
you know?
of course. You know, Bob the Builder could only be the next. Do you know what? Oh God, the Spice Girls were fucking huge as well during that time. Do you know what? I'm gonna go with my heart on this one, and I think Teletubbies is taking it as number one,
Yeah.
novelty number one. I think.
Well, it's the era of the novelty single. But I can tell you on this occasion, it was Spice Girls. So I'm sorry to say. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but you never know, do you?
I know, but it's Christmas number one.
You never know. Yeah.
You know, and Teletubbies were ridiculous. You know,
And still at number
trying to
two.
get hold of those dolls was like,
Yeah.
you know.
Turbo Doll again, isn't it? Turbo Man.
We'll discount Ginger Spice because she left the band.
Yeah.
Which Teletubby is which Spice Girl?
So you mean in '97 was that tune without Jerry?
No, I'm just saying as a little game to play.
Oh, there's four of them.
So there's four of them. I think Poe is Baby.
Is that the yellow one, Poe?
Poe's the red one, the youngest.
Right.
I think Dipsy, because she's got like the cow print bag. I think that's scary.
Okay.
Because the animal print she's into.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then what am I left with there? I think I've got Tinky Winky.
Is that the yellow one?
No, that's La La.
Right.
I think La La is probably like posh because la la, la di da.
Yeah.
And then I think that leaves Tinky Winky.
I feel like there's a right answer to this,
Yeah.
and you're giving it to me.
Yeah, and I think Tinky Winky is sporty. But do text in and let us know what you think.
Yeah. I'll agree with Ryan on that one actually, because I couldn't tell you all their individual names and accessories that they have.
And maybe Ginger's that Hoover they had. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Or the
That's
sun.
nice.
That baby should have been the baby in the sun. Actually,
Yeah.
to be fair,
But I think
Poe's right.
what
there.
you're saying though with Teletubbies, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. 1998 rolls round. 1 year later, we've got another massive novelty single in the running. Remember this one?
It's not Bob the Builder, is it?
It's Chef with chocolate
South
salty
Park.
balls.
Okay.
P.S. I love you by the South Park guys.
Say everybody haven't seen my balls, they're big and salty and brown. If you ever need a quick pick me up, just stick my balls in your mouth. Ooh, suck on my chocolate salted balls. Stick 'em in your mouth and suck 'em. Suck on my chocolate salted balls. They're packed full of vitamins and good for you. So suck on my balls.
I mean,
Is this UK number one then?
UK? That's the thing. So they've come to the UK and gone, we can get number one here because they've put all sorts of shit at number one in the UK. and like,
hell,
it's still
man.
hilarious, that, isn't it? It really is funny.
No, it just goes to show no changes, really, does it?
No.
But I feel like the 90s did it better than Sausage Roll.
I mean, not to go on to too much of a tangent, but like, yeah, no, the night no changes, but yeah, it does. Because like you say, like,
yeah,
chocolate salty balls is a lot funnier than sausage rolls
and more original.
Yeah,
because it's actually it is a song that they've created. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
for sure. But
that's funny.
I mean, like I said, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent here, but I always find it amusing that is it Isaac Hayes, who played Chef, did all that South Park stuff, including that mad song.
Yeah.
And he's like a respected musician before he came into South Park, but he had a sense of humour enough to like be in South Park, play Chef, bring out as a single chocolate salty balls.
Yeah.
And then because the joke's about Scientology, and he was a Scientologist, he said, "Nah, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Which is pretty
Crazy,
mental
isn't
when
it?
you think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. That's the power of the Scientology guys.
I know that's the worrying thing.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's too much off on a tangent,
Yeah.
but it is worrying in it to think that someone's willing to pack in their golden egg because of a cult. But you know, it's a different subject for a different time. But what was the opposing track at this year? What was it? What was this? 98.
98.
Great year.
They're back again. They're still massive. It's, of course, the Spice Girls going up against Chef with their single, Goodbye, which sounded something, well, exactly like this.
Goodbye, my friend. You're such a good man, I can still feel you here. It's not the end. Gotta keep it strong before the pain turns into fear.
Big tune.
Big tune.
At the time. I remember that very, very well. And to be honest, again, it's one of these that you never know. Playing with my mind, playing with my answers. But I've got to say Spice Girls on this one. Like,
Yeah.
it was such a big tune. That
Are you influenced
I'd
by
be
the...
shocked.
Sorry.
Influenced by the previous one.
Yeah.
Yes. Which, you know, part of me goes, oh well, maybe this year they didn't actually make it. But I've got to say Spice Girls, haven't I?
Yeah. And you're right, too.
Okay.
The Spice
good,
Girls
good.
took it, but Chef made it all the way
to number two. Yeah. He must, at that point in time, for Matt Trey Parker, Matt Stone.
And Stone.
Them guys.
Matt Stone and Matt Trey and
Parker Stone. Yeah. For them guys to go, yeah, we just got a number 2 in the United Kingdom. With
our song Chocolate Salty Balls.
Chocolate Salty Balls, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say, what, only number 2? It would have worked better if Mr. Hankey was in that position, wouldn't it?
And he's the Christmas poo as well. So
yeah, it would have been perfect.
even better. We've got a couple more.
Actually, Mr. Hankey Christmas Poo, did they make a tune?
I think they might have brought one out from him as well, like Hanky, the Christmas poo, blah blah blah.
He loves you.
But that never didn't make my list anyway.
Would have been perfect for the Christmas number 1. But
yeah, but I'm sure they
anyway.
went for it a few years later. But maybe like the whole hype had died down by then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're rounding off the 90s here.
Okay.
In the year 2000, with a
I-
song that you've mentioned a few times during this. I heard you say it. I never referenced it, but under your breath, you mentioned this guy Bob a couple of times.
Bob the Builder.
Yeah, he was in the running.
And was it? Maybe actually, I'm thinking 2001 might have been Posh Spice and Dame Bowers.
Right, I don't know.
And Robert Williams, Rock DJ, I think it was 2001. So yeah, sorry. So go on. So which sounded a little exactly
Let me.
Sorry.
Year 2000. What was Christmas number? Was it Bob the Builder? Which sounded a little something like this.
Now, I would say before even you drop in the next one here, this Bob the Builder in itself, again, one of them Teletubbies, blobby, like the same, but it was so big, Bob the Builder.
Huge.
So big. I remember this song being massive.
People had Bob fever, didn't they?
Bob Fever.
Yeah.
To the 8th degree.
They were
whatever.
bobbing themselves.
They were bobbing themselves, yeah, big time. So I'd say, all I'm saying is, Ryan,
Whatever happens, you're going for Bob.
well, you better pack something good on this one.
Okay, fair
that's
enough.
good.
Yeah,
That's gonna
Yeah.
push me.
And for a just for fun point, no actual points, but just for fun, who played Bob the Builder? Can you tell me? Who sang in that? Who is the singer on that song that could be Christmas number 1? Who's
Yeah.
the artist?
Neil,
That's right.
not Neil.
Yeah, Neil.
Not Neil Armstrong. Not Buchanan.
Musician, sang
Neil-
"Girlfriend in a Coma." I know.
No. Oh, did he cover that?
No, the surname of the Neil you're looking for.
Oh, Neil Morrissey.
That's
yes,
correct.
Yes. That's
Of
it.
course, one of the men who behaved badly in the
Yeah.
90s, but by 2000 he was voicing Bob the Builder.
Well, I mean, that made him a multimillionaire, Bob the Builder.
Yeah, amazing.
So
Good on him.
yeah,
So that was an option, or could it
just
have?
that one gig there for him. Sorry, but to go, he wouldn't have made he'd have made a few bob through Men Behaving Badly, but first few series probably not. But point being is, get that job of going, would you want to be the voice of this animation? Yeah, go on then, why not give it a try?
Yeah.
Turns out it's massively successful.
I bet that shocked him.
Oh, and then you can sing the song, and you get a piece of that pie as well, because you're number one for 10 weeks.
Because you're the vocal,
Yeah.
technically.
And he got to number one, didn't he?
Well, we'll see.
Nearly got you. Drive me luck.
Certainly did well.
Come on, rack me up then, rack me up.
Okay. Or was it up against the Mighty Bob, who, by the way, I never really took to, if I'm honest. I think it was just
Mighty Bob?
Bob the Builder.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Who was up against the Mighty Bob, a.k.a. Bob the Builder.
Got you.
I'm quite pissed off this Bailey. It's got to be said,
Good
just for the
stuff,
listener.
innit? Good stuff.
Um,
Merry Christmas, Bob.
Merry Christmas, though. What are we doing? Okay, yeah. Right. What was going to say that Bob... I never liked Bob the Builder particularly.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I'm
but,
saying.
but I think he was after my time. I think I was too old by that point, to be honest.
We were, yeah.
Yeah. We were like 13, 14. Anyway.
Yeah, it was a really childish show.
But...
I don't mean childish as in...
No, but it was.
You know,
It was
maybe
aimed at-
badly is childish, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
I mean as in, it was aimed at kids.
Aimed at kids.
Young kids.
Or was it Westlife with What Makes a Man?
Tell me what makes a man wanna give you all his heart. Smile when you're around and cry when you're apart. If you know what makes a man,
I was all about this.
wanna love you the way I do.
I've left this a bit longer for you.
Shit.
Girl, you gotta let me know so I can get over you.
I thought when I was recording that one, I thought this is right up Matt Street. This tune.
Oh, absolutely. You know, these Westlife loved them, Savage Garden. You got to remember, I had all my mum's albums, you know what I mean? So, yeah,
Well,
love Westlife.
It wasn't that tune, was it? There was a lovely video you made a few years ago.
Yeah.
With you and your two brothers.
Over 10 years ago now.
Yeah, just for your mum, and it was like...
West Get a Life.
Yeah, but it was like a spoof video, but you were singing... What was the song there?
It was...
It was one of their hits, anyway. But it was very like... that's what I thought, oh, Matt's into
You make
Westlife.
me feel funny.
Yeah.
You
It
come around, da-da-da-da.
was kind of like a romantic song where a guy singing to a girl, but it was you and your two brothers singing to your mum.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was lovely. And I think you can probably find that if you Google West Get a Life, you might find it. I
Yeah.
imagine it's on YouTube still.
I've still got hair in it. With that, Ryan, I got to say, I don't really remember that Westlife tune. I mean, it sounds a lot like their other stuff as well,
okay.
but I knew a good few distinctive Westlife tunes. I don't really remember that. I remember Bob the Builder being huge. I would be surprised if it wasn't Bob the Builder. I've got to say Bob the Builder was number one.
And you're quite right.
Oh, thank God.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but listen, well done to Westlife for getting
Yeah, you got to number
two.
But they're not going to beat the Mighty Bob.
No.
And now we've rounded off the 90s there. But I'm quite enjoying this game.
Right, have
Do you want one more bonus one from 2003?
Yeah, why not? Ooh, 2003. Oof, it's got to be...
Who do you suspect?
I think it's Proper Crimbo, potentially. And
I'll say it's not.
okay, I'll say, is it The Darkness?
He's got it.
With,
That's one of the options, anyway.
yes. Don't Let the Bells End.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one of the options, which sounded something like this. Love the
20
tune.
years old, you say now, that song?
Yeah, 20 years old. Yeah.
Exactly. 20 years old.
I was listening to a podcast recently about someone was talking about seeing the darkness in the early days when they were just doing little bars around London
Yeah.
to like small audiences, and they were like, I knew they were going to be big because they were performing like they were at Wembley. but to 12 people.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I can imagine that, and I love that.
Yeah, he seems like a really smart guy, actually.
Yeah, I don't really watch it very much, but now and again I'll dip into his YouTube channel, and he seems like a really decent guy and quite funny,
Okay.
and quite like what's the word? Insightful, and
Yeah.
like he'll review sort of the Arctic Monkeys' new record and talk about the depth of the music. And,
Well, I think he's actually really talented.
things
isn't
that I
he?
can't describe because I'm not musical in that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's very talented, and he may have been number one even in 2003 at
I'm
Christmas.
trying to think who else could it be at that era. Oh, it was
Oh, here we go.
it wasn't Goldie Looking Chain, was it?
No,
And it wasn't Electric Six.
No.
All right, okay.
I think you'll be surprised, but I think when I tell you, you might remember that it was in the ether.
Oh, was it Kelly Osbourne and Ozzy Osbourne?
No, but I think that year they made it to, I think it was number 3 or 4.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
With changes.
With changes, yeah.
yeah.
So I think they'd like, yeah. This was the year, feel like, okay, so I think this one, the tide was turning a bit. I mean, The Darkness, Don't Let the Bells End, maybe it's a novelty tune, but it's also quite a good tune.
Decent tune, yeah.
Like, that's more harking back to your Wizards, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a Christmas tune.
Glam rock.
But it's like, it's not like Mr. Blobby.
No, it's not. No, it's
It's a decent tune.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
feel like by 2003, people were sick of the novelty ones, and it was more music getting through, like Ozzy Osbourne, like The Darkness, and like this other option, which wasn't number 1, wasn't number 2. It was Michael Andrews and Gary Jules with Mad World. God. Which sounded
Same
like
year,
this.
2003.
Christmas, number 1 or 2, and it was as uplifting and positive and Christmassy as this.
And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever
I know the answer to this.
I find it hard to tell you,
And
I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
And that's like, so that's from the soundtrack to Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Cover of Tears for Fears. But a very different vibe to the original.
Yeah.
And somehow that made it into the charts and got very successful. But was it ultimately number 1 or 2? You think you know the answer?
I think I know it for sure. I'm pretty sure that was number 1. The Gary Jules, is it?
Yeah.
I think I remember buying the single.
Really? So you're quite right, by the way.
I was on that train.
And you were part of the push, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I remember that being odd that was Christmas number 1 that year, because almost unfairly in a way, isn't it? But it's like you get a Christmas tune and then you get like Westlife singing or Take That singing Babe or something. Really, you think The Darkness deserves a win there?
Yeah,
because it's singing about jingle bells.
But I'm so shocked at that one because it's not like it's a Westlife or a Take That. It's Gary Jules and Michael Andrews, who was his mate from school, who's not even famous.
Did they make any more music after that?
They probably did, but none that did anything, really, I don't think, as far as I know. Because he did so I looked into it, and he did the soundtrack to Donnie Darko, of course. But maybe that was the only one with lyrics or something, or maybe there was others, but he got his old mate, who was a bit of a singer, to sing on it. So, yeah, it was like a bit of a random one, in a way.
And that was just because Donnie Darko was so successful then?
I guess so, but I don't even remember Donnie Darko being, like, mainstream successful. I thought it was, like, cultish. So I'm very surprised that broke through.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there wasn't that many. Like, it's not like there was a Bob the Builder that year or a Mr. Blobby. Like, the Darkness weren't huge. They were big, but they weren't like they weren't getting the pink pound is like homosexuals, isn't it? It's like the child's pound. Like the colour, it's like the multicolored pound.
The kiddie coins.
The kiddie coins. Yeah, exactly. They weren't getting the kiddie coins.
No.
So you know what I mean? And it's a bit rude for kids even. Bells, don't let the bells end. Surely that's a play on Bell End, isn't it?
I think that was the case. Yeah.
So that you're not getting the blobbies, the fix-its, the bobs, the Teletubbies,
the big bobs,
the bobs and the fix-its, and So there was none of that this year. But still, I'm shocked that it's quite relatively.
The Darkness were robbed.
Yeah,
but
you could argue. Yeah.
I did love that song at the time, and
yeah, I like both those tunes actually.
Yeah,
to be honest, like I love that. As in the Gary Jules one,
yeah,
me too, yeah.
It is good, to be fair.
Put that in some like when I was a student. Put that in some like sad scenes.
You did do that,
yeah. At Norton College, yeah.
Yeah, that must have been
Like-
slapped all over the
Like
place.
there was a scene in a short film that we made at Norton College, which is where me and Matt both studied media, but we were separated.
Yeah.
We went to school together. You might know that by now.
Yeah.
And then we did the same course at college, but we were torn apart by the system
For a year.
for a year, and then we were brought back together again in a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
But for that 1 year, I was with other people, good guys, all around good guys. But you know, they weren't you.
It's a good point.
And I made some short films, and like one of them, I remember literally a scene of someone looking sad, walking by the pond at Graves Park,
yeah.
with Gary Jules, Bad World playing.
There was them random ones like, you know, the My Dad's Bruce Lee. The
Yeah.
Was it JCB?
My JCB.
Yeah.
My dad's Bruce Lee.
That's one that like
One
he
it
made
wonders.
a song and then he was like, oh yeah, I had to make an album after that, but I didn't
really want to.
I just had this one, and that was huge, wasn't it?
That similar to like that. Doom 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 doom.
Yeah.
Doom doom doom
Oh,
doom.
we didn't wanna hand me down.
What was he called now?
I'm another son, I had it in my number.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I always find it hard to pronounce. I was listening to that the other day, actually. It's got like 2 billion views on YouTube.
Oh, it's a tune. But isn't it the case that they just the thing that was clever about it was that it's basically just the melody from Mary Had a Little Lamb. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. You know, I think that's like he took a nursery rhyme and or
genius.
Twinkle Twinkle or something. You know.
Yeah, and like, you know, I said, hey, when I have nothing, when I hear it, this.
I recognise it, but I don't. Oh right. The Weatherman come.
That was
recent, though, wasn't
phenomenal.
it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that 2020 when the guy? When
Yeah,
the
something like that, yeah.
Shanties came out. Yeah, but in that year they wouldn't have stood a chance because this goddamn lad baby was there. But they've stood down.
I'm glad they stood down. I like the sound of them.
No, they make me feel weird, and I don't want to slag people, but
Yeah.
I just don't like them.
No,
And I'm sorry,
make room.
You know, they probably don't like me.
But we've got a chance, and I'd say that our Christmas songs are better than what's out there at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do we know what's going to be Christmas number 1 this year?
Should we have a look?
If it's possible. I tried looking this up. You look for it now. I tried looking it up, and it gets so confusing because it's like, oh, well, Spotify has had the most plays. Oh, it's like, I Wish It Could Be Christmas, or Michael Bublé's Christmas, and you're like, oh, is this the most played? But what's in the charts right now? What's number 1 in the charts? And is it...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because I heard at one point that the Beatles' new track was in the charts.
I imagine they've like had to change it in recent years because of all the streaming and like incorporating that into it and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make it fair. Okay. Who are the contenders?
Yeah, because when's the official one? Is it like when's the official number 1? Is it the last week in December?
Yeah, there is like I think it's just like on Christmas Day or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, as in like the one that will be within that week, I guess. You can be. It says here you could be. This is officialcharts.com I'm looking at, so it's a reputable source.
Okay.
And it says you can be pretty certain. Last Christmas by Wham and All I Want for Christmas by You. No, sorry. And All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey are set to join the fight for the festive top spot. Ed Sheeran and Elton John's modern Yuletide hit Merry Christmas has shown signs of becoming a festive classic in recent years.
Okay.
Along with a raft of new releases, charity singles. Well, that's what we tried to do.
Won't recommend it, guys.
No. Just take the money, man.
Just take the money.
You'll sell as many, probably. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes no difference. People don't give a fuck. And feisty political and social campaigns. Again, this is where John would be censoring.
I know. Yes, we need John here.
Take a look at the list of 2023's Christmas number 1 contenders. Okay.
See, I like the fact that Ed Sheeran and Elton John have actually tried to attempt a Christmas song. I just feel like the number 1 doesn't mean anything anymore. But maybe that's just because I got old.
I don't think it does anymore. I think you're quite right. It's a nice, to be fair, with Lad Baby, give them the credit. That money went to charity. They're making money for charity there, and it's a nice thing. That's, you know, that's what it's
I'm
about.
glad
I
they've
suppose.
steps aside.
Yeah. Creator Universe. I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. Oh, he's one of the biggest TikTokers, and he's going to cover Wizards Classic. That's something. TikTok. This is the modern world, isn't it, man?
I know, it's like who's got the most fans?
Nala the Station Cat.
Who's in control of the most dickheads?
So this Bailey's is really strong. Nala the station cat, check me out. Oh, that's cool. That's cute. I had to read it to understand what the pun was, because it's meow like a cat. Check me out.
Oh,
and
brilliant!
And it's sung by a cat.
Oh, right. There we go.
Sleaford Mods doing West End Girls.
Oh, okay.
I'm interested in hearing that.
What in running?
Well, it's out. Yeah, I mean, it's in the. They put it out as an option.
Oh. What have they covered? Sorry.
West End Girls, Pet Shop Boys. That'd be good.
Oh, nice.
I'll give that a listen.
Yeah.
Rock Choir. I wish it could be Christmas every day. Another cover. I don't like these covers. I want to hear a new
I know,
tune.
it's just like, come
But
on.
I understand it. My whole song was about what's the angle.
Yeah, but that in itself was still a new song, though.
I know. Yeah. No, you're quite right. Yeah, but I just mean like I had to resort to singing about that because I couldn't think of anything else. Sooty. I'm in the mood for.
You're joking. What?
Sooty. I'm in the mood for Christmas, man. I'm in the mood for Christmas.
Sooty as in Sooty and Sweep Sooty?
I assume so, yeah.
My God.
Because nothing quite says Christmas like the mischievous glove puppet Sooty covering the Nolans. I'm in the mood for Christmas. Sorry, I'm in the mood for dancing.
I'm in the mood for dancing.
Which is mental because Sooty's not got feet.
I suppose he could still be in the mood for dancing, though.
Yeah,
but
he
he just can't.
Yeah. And that's for Great Ormond Street Hospital.
Oh.
We've got the celebs doing So Delicious, whatever that means.
God,
the Pogues is obviously in the running.
Well,
that might do it, because of obviously.
I said.
Yeah, that might do it because of obviously,
I presume that would got to number one
because of obviously Shane McGowan's tragic death recently. I mean,
tragic.
What's that funny?
Sorry, I'm not. Sorry, no.
Well, I suppose all death is tragic.
I mean, yes, yeah. No, it's tragic that he's. I suppose tragic sounds to me like it's more sudden, whereas I think Shane McGowan had it coming for a long time.
I suppose you could say that. Yeah.
But it's still a tragic loss.
Yeah, the tragic loss of Shane McGowan recently. That might give it a little boost. Maybe I'll purchase that one.
Well, I presume that would be the case. You feel like people are going to be smashing that because it's also such a great song.
They smash it anyway. It's just whether they're going to go out and buy it to try and
And can we play it at the end of this podcast in memory of?
Yeah,
that'd
be
nice.
And
actually, memory of
Kirsty MacColl
too.
Yeah.
Now they're singing it together in heaven.
I wonder if any of the other musicians on it or anyone else involved has died.
Probably.
Yeah. So memory of all them.
A memory of whoever died.
Yeah. Slade.
Slade. Just like, how are we not making new music here?
Wham.
I mean...
No, to be fair, this is a list of I might stop now because this is a list of ones that are well, it's probably going to get up the charts because it's Christmas songs.
Yeah.
But I think we've covered enough there.
And they're playing loads, yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So there we go. Well...
I think I got probably one wrong out of them.
Oh yeah, let's look at the scores.
I think
You're quite right. You got 5 out of 6. So that's really well done.
No, I'm pretty pleased with that, and good work putting that together.
And I think the one you got wrong, I could understand it. I think I would have said Teletubbies because it was such a huge thing at the time.
Yeah, who was next to Telly?
It was Spice Girls, which is also understandable, but
big powerhouses. You don't really see it anymore. That kind of
energy
towards a thing, towards a person or a band. It's
everything's slightly diluted is the word, which is kind of nice as well because it means everyone has a chance to become.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's just there's no big stars anymore, in a way, is there?
No, it should. Listen, we should start the show.
Yeah,
though it's a Christmas special.
We're looking at the barrel of 2 hours. We need to reveal the wheel though at some point.
Yes,
or do we? Or do we go to bed?
I'm not gonna lie. The Baileys, I'm pissed up at the moment.
Same.
Keep my act together. I think we introduced ourselves early on.
Yeah.
I'm joined here by good old fashioned Ryan. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm good. Merry Christmas.
Would you rather have your presents in a stocking, a big stocking, or in a bath that's filled with water? So
I'm going to say a stocking just because I always love electrical items.
Right, and you don't want any of the electrical items going in, but you get more in a bath though.
That's true. I suppose if I had no
presents.
electrics and it was all like clothes or something, it'd be all right, just about. But I think I'm just going to go stocking for the tradition.
Okay, fair enough. And I am mattskenton.com, the brand.
Yeah.
Which it's coming up. I probably might need to renew that. I don't know how long I got left on the website. I had 2 years, and that's looking down the barrel of a year ago, I'd say. But keep an eye out on that. Lots going on.
Do you want to ask yourself a question?
You can ask me a Christmas question if you want.
Try.
can think of one. Tough, innit?
You were up all night writing that one, though, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. On Christmas Day, for Christmas dinner,
Yeah.
would you rather have the full meal, all the trimmings, but no gravy whatsoever?
Right.
Or you can't have any Yorkshire puddings or pigs in blankets, which for me are the top two. But you get gravy. And you get all the rest. You get your turkey, you get your sprouts, you get your,
But I can't
you get
have.
your potatoes,
But I can't have Yorkshire puddings
or pigs in blankets.
or pigs in blankets.
But you can have the gravy. Or you get everything, but no gravy. It's a rate question he's come up with. It's a rate. Off the top of his head.
It's decent.
Off the top of his head.
It's a decent.
Half cut on fucking Baileys. He's come up with a rate question.
I'm gonna answer for John,
Okay.
and I think John would
Yeah, that's
go. I think he would go for the job lot without the gravy. If it meant him getting
Just douse it in brown sauce or something, yeah.
He'd have some up his sleeve. Endos.
Yeah.
'Cause I could use Enderson's relish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go the same. I think
Have it all.
I've got to have the Yorkshire pudding. It's a killer without the gravy. to be
Yeah, they're
honest.
dry though. They're not as nice.
I know. I could have beetroot juice though and stuff, and
God.
you know, make straight from the jar, red cabbage stuff.
Yeah.
wet things.
I think...
Horseradish, you know,
Yeah.
apple sauce, potentially cranberry sauce. I could have
True. Yeah.
somewhat moist, as Peter Kay would go on about.
I think... I'd have to have the gravy one, to be honest. I'd be sad.
What, and stick there, really?
I'd be really sad to do it, but yeah, I think I could enjoy my potatoes, my turkey, chicken. I might be wrong about that.
No,
because-
it's tough. It's a tough question.
Well, it's not for me to answer in a case. I don't have to do it.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah, I just have
But-
to have a bath of presents or a stocking full of presents.
Yeah. And you've gone for a stocking full.
Dry.
Tiny little stocking as well.
The funny thing is, the fact that my answer's dry is a positive. The fact that yours is dry is a negative.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And on that,
And on that, no, I suppose... Have we got... Listen.
Sorry about not bringing the wheel out.
No,
I mean, we had stuff ready, but it's
Yeah,
it's 2 hours strong. and-
Look at the wheel all wrapped up over there as well.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic, right?
Yeah,
I feel bad.
Gift wrapped, but whatever.
Maybe in the next Christmas special we'll open it, or
Yeah.
Summit in the new year. But I've got to say, listen, I've come out of today with a Stretch Armstrong. Genuine surprise there, Ryan.
I'm pleased. I wasn't sure if you were like new, but you were being coy and like obviously not trying to ruin it for me. But I believe now that you didn't.
No, until you handed it over. Even when you said, well, I've got something here. You know, like when I always go, well, he's here tonight.
Yeah.
But he's actually done it. A genuine Stretch Armstrong from Hasbro, not some Italian knockoff.
No, not Stretchiano, Mistiano.
No, and it comes with these fantastic instructions as well of how you're not meant to stretch it. But listen, so I'm going to say we're not going to be able to do the wheel. We're not going to be able to do a feature this year. I think it's just too much.
But it's just nice. Surely, presumably, the terrible fans, hopefully, are just happy to hear from us.
A little cheeky bonus.
A little cheeky surprise bonus Christmas app. It's not what we dreamed of it being,
No,
but I've had a really good time.
yeah.
And I think it's been a really fun episode.
Well, I've had a lovely time, Ryan, and thanks.
And I think in a way we've had such strong Christmas specials in the past. We've almost made a rod for our own back with that, and it makes us like think, oh fuck, we need to top that. And sometimes it's just maybe it's just good to turn up. You don't always have to be the dad at Christmas with all the best toys. Maybe just being there's enough.
Yeah, exactly, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I was going to say something, but I've forgotten.
Lovely.
I'm afraid, but I was agreeing with you about something with the Christmas specials and the rod for his own backs, and yeah, we've had some classics.
And just how maybe just turning up's enough. Is that anything to do with that?
Yeah, I agree with you. Should we have a game of Who's at the Door? Or should I say, Yule's at the door?
Oh, lovely.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? It's a mystery.
Okay, who is at this big, snowy, festive door this week? I'll go straight to Ryan. Ryan,
What a pressure.
who is at the door this week?
Well, is it Tim Allen in makeup, in full costume, as Stretch Armstrong?
It's a great guess. And it's interesting, actually,
Oh.
because it is Tim Allen at the door.
Well,
but he's not dressed as Stretch Armstrong.
but it is Tim Allen.
It is Tim Allen.
Okay, well, surely that's enough. Surely that's enough. Just Tim Allen.
Just Tim Allen.
Well, what he's wearing makes the difference. It's Tim Allen.
It's Tim Allen.
That's a Christmas. Is it really?
Christmas
Was it always Tim Allen?
It's Tim Allen.
Oh, it is out there. Oh my God, that's a Christmas miracle.
That is a Christmas
It's so
miracle.
rare that we get these.
Should we bring him in?
I think we got to bring him in. It's Christmas, haven't we?
Come in, Tim.
Come in, Tim.
Drink some bloody Baileys.
We've had enough.
I'll put some of the music on and the fire's on, and we're in this nice festive setting now. So, Tim, where are you based at the moment?
I have a home here, but I haven't been here. I go back and forth, but I'm in LA now most of the time.
Oh, cool.
When you get here, I come back and I'm like a tourist. It's funny, I go, oh, look at all the buildings.
The Shard.
You don't even understand how special all of you are, that you live in this combined area and everybody's impolite at the same level.
Yeah,
that is a bit rude there, but
yeah, a little bit rude.
Yeah. That's lovely to hear.
Yeah, nice.
I think you've been drinking as well.
Yeah,
I mean, we left the bottle of Billy's outside the door.
I hate you so much.
But amazing to see you, and amazing I guessed you, because I was shocked.
That was a great guess.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah,
it's funny. I felt like
something in the air,
almost telepathically. It was coming across to you. Like,
yeah,
I was thinking he's going to get this.
Yeah,
and I don't know why.
Well,
because it doesn't,
Tim Allen got a mention in the pod.
It was mentioned, but
lots of things were.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Well
done.
Cheers, Tim. You can go now, Tim. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, or you can stay for the sign-off if you want.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sit there.
It's funny because I wrote this sign-off when I was really hungry. And, I think by the end it tails off maybe to less positive, but I feel by the very end we're
comes back round
to being positive again. So, yeah, we'll see anyway. I was in a funny mood when I wrote this, so please do excuse me. But listen, Ryan, it's been a fantastic episode with you. I do wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yes, you too. Merry Christmas.
Phenomenal year of podding, and I've enjoyed every last show with you, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
A big Merry Christmas to Big John Patrick, who unfortunately couldn't make this recording. And most importantly, a big Merry Christmas to you guys at home,
Merry Christmas,
the listeners, and we would be nothing without you.
No. Fots.
And I will leave you with this. 2023 had everything everywhere all at once. Brendan Fraser came back to make the box office bunce. Tom Cruise, with nothing to lose, had permission to fly by. Wakanda Forever was cheered from the sky. Miley Cyrus brought us flowers. Taylor Swift took her bow. The Beatles' last single dropped, as good then as it is now. We were moved to tears with The Last of Us. White Lotus made us think, who can we trust? Certainly not the government, on the brink of another recession. But fuck me, how good was Succession? The Women's World Cup brought us joy and pain. Got to the final but knocked out by Spain. Fury, furious as he's knocked down again. Francis was robbed. Will Tyson be the same? A horrible war to finish the year. A question of morals or political steer. As AI improves, do we as people deteriorate? Can we be better as a race, or is it too late? After all, Christmas is a time for debate. And pudding and mince pies, how many have you ate? There's still hope for good people. At least I hope this is true. Good people who listen to this podcast, I'm talking to you. Have a wonderful Christmas and a new year too. We shall see you in the new year with something more light-hearted to do. Merry Christmas and good night.
Good night. You should write the King's Speech.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the rare old mountain tune. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas, I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true.
They got cars big as bars, they got rivers of gold. Thread the windows right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome,
You were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more.
Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing Go Away Babe, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. You're a bum, you're a punk,
You're an old slut and junk lying there almost dead on a dripping night bed.
you scumbag, you maggot, you cheap lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, you're ours, I pray God it's our love. The boys of the NYPD choir still singing Go Away Babe,
And the bells are ringing out
for Christmas Day.
I could have been someone.
Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you.
I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you.
The boys of the NYPD choir still singing Go Away Babe,
And the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day.
Listening to Seldom Differ's Terrible Features with Matt Skillington, John Patrick and Ryan Howes. Intro and outro theme by Old. You can follow them at Old Music on Instagram. If you want to follow the boys at Seldom Differ, you can get them at Twitter at Seldom Differ, Instagram Seldom_Differ, and Facebook at Seldom Differ Comedy. You should also subscribe at Seldom Differ on YouTube. Thank you to Luke Collins at Appley Bridge Studio for his additional audio work. And thank you to all you Patreon subscribers. If you're interested in supporting us, then go to patreon.com/Seldom Differ And there you can donate as little as £1 a month, that's 25p an episode, that's not too bad, to £3 plus a month, which will allow you access to all of our bonus material. Please do give us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd be unbelievably grateful. Thanks for listening.